With the year coming to an end, it is a good time to look back over the various content we played this year. This of course means there will be spoilers for Dawntrail content, so be aware of that before you enter the video. Starting all the way back in January, like every year, we started this one with the Heaven's Turn event. It began on December 31st, and as we rang in our fortunes for the year and obtained a cute little chocobo dressed like a dragon, we were all excited for the new expansion happening sometimes in the summer. On January 16th, patch 6.55 was released with the Dawntrail prologue story. Here we met Wuglamat for the first time and got to see Kryl change into her adorable Pictomancer outfit. We finished our Endwalker adventure with Hildebrand, which included the gilded Aria trial, and then watched Hildy get snatched away to an unknown place, at least for now. We could finally max out our legendary weapons, which took on a distinctive futuristic look, matching places we were yet to visit. And we completed Tadru's grand endeavor, finally finishing the gift for her. Along with this, we got our final visit to the island sanctuary, and finished up the story with the Tribal Alliance quest, which completed the story of the 3 reputations for Endwalker, and it gave us a new dance. We got some cute housing items and music added to the game, and generally, we were all quite excited for the upcoming expansion. But till then, we would not be without content, of course. With the end of the expansion, it was honestly the perfect time to run many of the old in-game events, giving new players a chance to obtain these rewards. And they tried to stuff pretty much every event in the time between 6.55 and the release. The first event began on January 22nd with the Maiden's Rhapsody, the crossover event with Final Fantasy XI, and rewarding us with a pretty armor. Then on January 30th, the new version of the Moogle Treasure Trove began. Now we were no longer limited to just doing dungeons, trials or raid duties to obtain those tombstones. Now we could also get them from fishing expedition, events in the Gold Saucer, and even by doing some specific challenges for more rewards. This update to the event was received quite positively, even if the prizes at the time were nothing too special. The unique reward for the first hunt of Genesis was the Mamashita neckerchief. And then February arrived. We began with a free login campaign lasting from February 1st till the 21st. Then on February 7th, the Valentine's Day event began, and with it the previous year's outfit were finally no longer gender-locked. We got a cute heart emote from the event, and we could now buy chairs matching last year's heart-shaped table. On February 13th, patch 6.57 released, with minor fixes and a major boost to the amount of Aetheryte tickets a Realm Reborn players would obtain, along with adjustment to tombstones and removing the loot restriction. On February 28th, the crossover event with Final Fantasy XV returned, allowing new players to obtain Lucanus' outfit and hairstyle, some music from the game, a triple triad card, and most importantly, the 4-seater car, which is such an amazing mount, especially when you're playing with friends. And with that, we entered the month of March. On the 7th, the Little Ladies' Day and Hatching Tide event began. The 2 festivals were joined into one, but the amount of rewards were not doubled. We got a singular reward with the Pettyhorn, allowing us to ride a pink flower-decorated Gubu with a unique mount special. I was personally kinda disappointed with this choice, as these 2 events tend to have really cute items, so I wanted more rewards. On March 19th, patch 6.58 came out with some minor adjustments, and then the end of the Crystalline Conflict Season 10 and the start of Season 11. On March 24th, the official trial period for the data center travel began, which allowed everyone to travel to the Oceanic data center. It was a lot of fun as we figured out how the new system was working. The month of April began with Final Fantasy XVI crossover event, which gave us the Metian outfit, our very own Torgal mount, and a tiny Torgal minion as well. Along with, of course, a new triple triad card and plenty of orchestration roles from the game. On April 24th, the Yokai Watch event returned, allowing new players to gather up the absolute heap of minions and unique weapons. And for a good while, fates in any applicable area was decimated in a matter of minutes as people worked on completing their sets. And we kept on working on that well into May. But May itself was not without content. The Moogle Treasure Trove returned on May 14th, this time with a carbuncle earring as their unique prize. And on May 15th, the Make It Rain campaign began, allowing us to earn so much more MGP, while we were also gathering up those tombstones. And additionally, we also got a new imp costume, a very spiky dining table, and a lovely outdoor clock. And keeping with the theme of Gold Saucer event, the Fall Guys collaboration event returned on May 23rd, allowing us once again to try to get those crowns, gather unique currencies, and buy various rewards, which include an emote, outfit, mounts, minions, and housing items. And then finally, June was here, with Dawntrail just around the corner. But while we waited, even more events happened. The Breaking Break Mountain event returned on June 5th, giving us a chance to get 2 weird hats and 1 minion. And then just before the early access began, the 7.0 patch maintenance game. The game was down from December 26th till the 28th, when the early access officially began. And what a release it was! Even with the ongoing DDoS attacks, which the game had been struggling with for months at that point, the launch itself was pretty smooth. And of course it brought with it heaps of content. First of all was the big graphic update we all had been waiting for. With changes to our characters, a new quest was added into the game to give everyone a free Fantasia so they could fix their character as needed. But let's talk about the content we got with patch 7.0. Of course, we begin with getting a brand new main story, which brought with it 2 new cities, 6 new areas, and a whole heap of side quests. We could take on new rather silly role quests and farm fates all across Tural to get many new rewards available for those colorful gemstones. Vakumeki Meki deliveries were added, bringing quests for the lands and hand rolls, and with it of course we got plenty of new recipes and gathering spots. There were new leave quests, new fates, heaps of new achievements, new treasure maps, housing items, and a brand new housing skin. Iwar were moved from the hat slot and placed in their own unique slot instead, allowing us to mix and match glasses and hats freely. Female Hrothgar were added to the game, we got 2 new hairstyles, and the Viper and Pictomancer job were added along with their own unique quests. And of course, we got plenty of new mounts and minions and gears, new trials and dungeons, and even extreme trials. And of course, the new PvP series began. Release was full of things to do, and while the main story got rather mixed reviews, people seemed overall excited for the new raids and areas. Then on July 2nd, the game had its full official release, followed by patch 7.01 on July 16th, bringing with it the first part of the Arcadian raid series with overall favourable reactions from the player base, who then spawned a horrendous amount of B-themed jokes. Then on July 30th, patch 7.05 released, which brought with it the Savage version of the Arcadian and the new treasure dungeon Cenote Jaja Goral. We got various housing items, new tombstones, gears and crafting recipes, along with a new mount being added. But as we entered August, things started calming down a bit. And after the back-to-back events in the early part of the year, when we entered August, things slowed down significantly. On August 7th, the Moonfire Fair began, bringing back the tower, a new emote, and a housing item. And then on August 27th, we had the Rising event, giving us a cute Pictomancer Kryle minion and a boob light to place on our tables. And then September had nothing. Our next game update was not until October 15th, with the Moogle Treasure Trove returning, this time with a cute donut earring as a reward. And then the free login campaign ran from October 11th till the 31st. On October 18th, All Saints Wake returned, this time with a pretty sizable pumpkin bat housing item, and the Knight of Devilry outfit, which has a pretty great looking shirt and horns, though many hoped the shirt would be quite versatile and were disappointed to find that it has tiny little wings on the back. Still, I think it is a pretty good looking shirt. Finally, on October 23rd, the Fall Guys collaboration event returned again. And then we had to wait till mid-November for patch 7.1 to release. We continued with the main story with a new, surprisingly creepy dungeon. We entered the new Alliance raid Echoes of Vanadiel, which is the crossover raid with Final Fantasy XI. Many players have fond memories of the game, making the raid a great walk down memory lane for them, and an alright raid for the rest of us. The final trial of the Dawntrail release story got its extreme version, and the Jade Stoa was made into the new Unreal trial. The Pelu Pelu Allied Society quests were added, and once again we have a rename of the reputations. I hope that Allied Society quests are gonna be the final name they use, though I find it to be a little bit of a mouthful. We got major changes to interior design for estates, allowing us to choose which style to use on the inside, no matter where the house is located, including a brand new minimalist style which removes all columns. We got plenty of new housing items, some from the 2022 Furnishing Design Contest. And then, in the Gold Saucer, we got new Triple Triad cards, but also a huge update to the Mahjong game. That is now voiced. Now the Scions will talk during the game, which is interesting. I've never been good at Mahjong, so I haven't really played it. But I hope for those of you who actually do, that this is a fun update. A new hairstyle inspired by the 2023 Hairstyle Design Contest was added. It is only inspired by it because they did not quite capture the original idea. This led to some controversy, and personally, I hope one day we get the proper hairstyle because it looks very cute. The whole of the Novice got updated to focus more on teaching the appearances and working of various mechanics, and there were some big changes to some crystalline conflict arenas. More of the weapon design contest weapons were added as well, this time the more silly versions, but they actually look really good and I would love to get that samurai weapon. And of course there were new recipes, mounts, minions, accessories and faceware added to the game. Then on November 11, patch 7.11 released with the beginning of the new Ultimate Raid Futures rewritten. And then there was nothing till mid-December, as on December 16th, Starlight Celebration began, giving us a new Chocobo Barding and 2 new housing items. Then in mid-Christmas, patch 7.15 released with a new class quest, a new Hildebrand quest, and the new custom delivery person. We got new housing items and a new hairstyle. And on December 24th, the Cloud of Darkness Chaos Raid was released, bringing with it new gear, new minion, and mounts. And finally, on December 31st, we will return to the beginning as we step into the Heaven's Turn event, this time getting a cute minion and 2 housing items. And as we look back, the year has truly been busy, though personally I find this last quarter of the year to be a bit dull. As someone not interested in high-end raiding or extreme trials, I feel there is not too much for me to do in the game at the moment, which has given me a chance to play a variety of other games instead. Next year I'm looking forward to the new lifestyle content and the Eureka Bosia type content, and maybe even our new limited class. But we will see, though personally I would have liked to see one of these contents already releasing, to bring more gameplay variety. But tell me, what was your favorite part of the year? For me, I really enjoyed the chaos of all the events returning during the Dawntrail pre-release period. It was a lot of fun and there was so much excitement in the community. But what are your thoughts? Let's talk about it down in the comments, and while you're down there, maybe throw me a commendation by liking and subscribing and commenting something sweet to appease the algorithmic overlords. But in the end, all I wanna say is tack för att horfa och yndislegan dag.